According to Israeli sources, 7 Israelis, including 1 woman, were killed by armed Palestinians, and another 62, including 1 child and at least 1 woman, and 14 ISF personnel were injured by Palestinians in shooting, stabbing, and ramming attacks and other incidents. Israeli security forces' large-scale operation continued in North and West Bank sites and refugee camps, particularly in Tulkaram and Jenin, alongside operations across other areas in the West Bank, including in Area A. On 31st August, new military orders declared parts of Nur Shams and Tulkaram refugee camps closed military zones. While there have been some limited returns, tens of thousands of Palestinians remain displaced from northern refugee camps. Children continue to be killed by Israeli security forces. For example, a 13-year-old Palestinian was shot and killed on 25th June during a search operation west of Jenin. On 22nd and 23rd July, also in Jenin, 2 boys, a 15-year-old and 13-year-old, were shot and killed after reportedly throwing stones at ISF. On 8 September, Israeli forces shot and killed 2 Palestinian boys, aged 14, who were attempting to enter Jenin refugee camp. Israeli security forces carried out at least 2,500 search and arrest operations in the occupied West Bank. Israel currently holds at least 2,662 Palestinians in administrative detention amidst persistent reports of abuse during detention. Daily settler-related attacks intensified, often in presence of Israeli forces. On 25th June, 3 Palestinians were killed by ISF after dozens of settlers attacked the village of Kafr Malik, northeast of Ramallah. In Akraba town, southeast of Nablus, on 2nd August, Israeli settlers shot and killed a 24-year-old Palestinian man and injured 8 others. Palestinian attacks against Israelis also continued. On 8 September, 2 Palestinians opened fire at a bus station at the Ramot Junction, northwest of East Jerusalem, killing 6 Israelis and injuring 21 others. The attackers were both killed at the scene. Mr. President, the Security Council in its Resolution 2334 called upon both parties to refrain from provocative actions, incitement, and inflammatory rhetoric. Unfortunately, such acts continued. Hamas praised and claimed responsibility for the 8 September attack against Israeli civilians in Jerusalem and praised the 18 September attack in which 2 Israeli soldiers were killed at the Al-Karama Allenby Bridge, calling both heroic operations. Hamas officials continued to call for additional violent attacks against Israelis. PA-affiliated official media and social media continued to glorify perpetrators of past attacks against Israelis. Senior Israeli officials continued to call for the mass displacement of Palestinians outside Gaza, expansion of Israeli military operations towards the full control of Gaza by Israel, and the establishment of settlements in Gaza. Some also called for annexation and advancement of settlements in the occupied West Bank that would bury the idea of a Palestinian state, and called for stopping all humanitarian aid and life-saving services into Gaza until all hostages are released. A senior official released a statement asserting that there will be no Palestinian state to the west of the Jordan River, and highlighting his past efforts to prevent the creation of a Palestinian state. Senior Israeli officials also conducted inflammatory visits to Jerusalem holy sites, with openly violating the status quo. Mr. President, Resolution 2334 reiterated calls by the Middle East Quartet for affirming steps to be taken immediately to reverse negative trends on the ground that are imperiling the two-state solution. After 23 months of fighting, the humanitarian situation in Gaza is beyond the breaking point. On 22nd August, the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification confirmed famine in Gaza Governorate, marking the first time a famine has been officially confirmed in the Middle East region.